You can bring those baskets down here. So some may wonder, like, why the big push to get so much harvested when the temperatures are not predicted to be freezing. Well, one of the reasons that I am a little bit concerned, and I'm just being overly cautious, sit them right down there by those chairs, please. Thank you. Is that in any environment that you're in, there's always going to be what we call microclimates. Basically, certain areas of the environment can have a different temperature depending on different circumstances. The openness to the weather, the wind, how many trees there are, how much blocks the wind, such as a house or such as a band of trees. So even on our property that we live on and we farm on, when there are times where there is a frost on our property, but the temperature wasn't below 32, and the frost will be on the top end of the property and not the bottom end. Top end is more open, it's higher up as far as elevation is concerned, and so it happens to frost there. So the temperature is being predicted in the 30s. It's close enough to freezing to where I feel that there's a need to take precautions. So that's why we are doing what we're doing. And as far as other farms and gardeners may be concerned, you'll have your own considerations to take in and think about, and the plants that you're growing, what you want to save, what you don't want to save, what you care about, what you can just afford to lose. All those things are factors that we take into consideration when we're coming up on a frost. So, and even though this is not predicted to be an actual frost, it's just the coolest temperatures that we've had thus far, and a lot of the things that I'm harvesting thrive in warm weather. So I was already pushing it by delaying my harvest and doing things slowly because that's what's been easier for me. But now it's time to put the game face on, and it's time to get going. So my quickest harvest is going to be the fig tree, and so we're going to go on over and get those really quickly. And I'm going to go ahead and get the remaining figs on there too. There are some that are green. I don't know whether just leave those or what, but I'm definitely going to get the ones that are close to ripe, and I'm going to get the healthy looking leaves. Come on. We've been under like a fire advisory because it's been so dry, so our burn pile has gotten stupid crazy. Look at how big that is. I really do want to propagate this tree, so still researching on that to see what I can figure out as to what I need to do, what type of branch to pull, because it does really good and it's been very self-sufficient. Like, we fertilize it 3 times a year, I think, and because of where it's at, we seldomly remember to even water it, so it's done really well. So we're gonna get these leaves picked. Okay, we are done with the figs. Now we'll move on to the most challenging one is going to be the muscadines. Guess we'll go ahead and do those. Alright, so now we'll head up on to the middle of the property. And we'll get our muscadines. Now, the reason why I said that's going to be a challenge is because you saw how crowded that area is. It needs to be trimmed, pruned really good, and so it makes it difficult to harvest in there. Okay, let's get a new basket. Hey Brian, go in and get the loppers. We're gonna have to try to lop at this and harvest simultaneously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Tim was putting down.
Yeah, he is. We'll get some of the lower branches though. So this is gonna be a project. I'm gonna probably cut the camera off and just work at it. We'll be back when we're done harvesting, guys. All right, we got Spade out here working also on snipping this area. We've gotten quite far, as you can see. Got some leaves there. Gotta go through those. I've just been kind of collecting as I went. We may not get any muscadines next year because I let this get so out of control, and I'm having to do a massive pruning to get everything back in control. But Brian has worked on it, and now Spade's taking over. So the sunlight is almost to the point where it can get through there. That big tree there though is not coming down, so we're just going to focus on these smaller ones here. Paws have come off. The paws have come off. This girl is determined to get Oh my gosh.
I was helping.
I was connected to something else even still.
Grab the trees. I went buck wild. I keep backing up. Big difference. Big difference. So I can actually get to my bed and work in it and get it prepared for, I don't know if I'm doing garlic or onions in this bed this year, but one or the other. But I got to get it amended with more soil and compost and bone meal and stuff like that. But now I can actually get to it. So, and also sun can get through. We still have the trees to the left of the bed there that we need to get trimmed, but our pile is so big right now that we decided to stop, and we didn't even move this to our burn pile because that pile is already pretty tall, and we don't want it to be too big so that when you know, we're burning, we don't want there to be any don't want to make it any higher risk than burning already is. So, and right now we can't burn because we're under a watch anyway. So we just gonna kind of put these things here for now to dry, and then hopefully when we get an opportunity to burn, we'll be able to. I was able to get a good bit harvested in the midst of all this. Some leaves here that we're gonna probably just put back over the bed until I can work with it. And now that we've got the fig and muscadines harvest, we can he knows he's not supposed to be there. We can move on to the roselle leaves and roselle flowers or calyxes themselves. So let's move on up to the high tunnel. Let's get it. So by this point, we were losing daylight and I really just needed to get things done. So I didn't do any recording, but here's just a few photos that I took as we were harvesting in the high tunnel. Okay, so my device is about to die, so really quickly, just to show you everything that we harvested today, and also clearing out that whole area that we cleared out. Oh, this thing is huge. It's full of roselle leaves and pods, and we only harvested just a little bit more of the goldenrod because a lot of it was starting to seed. Got some lemon balm in here. There, these are some of our muscadine leaves, and then some of the goldenrod leaves that I just removed from some of the other plants that were seeding. But I'm exhausted. It has been a day, and then oh wow, that's not even all of the roselle. There's a whole other, yeah, there we go. So in the midst of all the craziness, the wind has really picked up this evening, and on top of that, we had the hardest time getting the back and the front of the high tunnel closed after being open. Been so fortunate this year to not have to open and close a lot. And oh, there's more roselle in there too. It just was like, I'm not coming down, and boy, that was a lot of effort. But at any rate, that has been our day. I am going to hit the shower and relax. You guys have a fantastic day, night. Stay warm and toasty. Have a good one. Okay, so it may be that I spent all of that time and energy for nothing, because I don't think we got into freezing, even though we weren't supposed to. We did not, because a lot of the stuff would be, that's a pepper plant. It's fine, totally fine, and nothing appears to be dead except for this tray of microgreen basil, and then, you know, basil likes it really warm, and it's fine. Parsley there is fine. Our bed that we have, our new fledgling beets, and what else is in there? Oh, Swiss chard. It's fine. This jungle is still green and fine, but most of that stuff is frost tender anyway. Okay, yeah, and this is what I was really interested in, seeing how it would do. This is the Kiwano jelly melon, and since it's gonna warm back up, I thought about maybe covering it to see if I could, you know, push it to get to maturity. There's only there's probably about 10 or 12 on here, but there's only like a few that are close to maturity. There's one there, well, not close to maturity, but that are any size, because those things can get pretty large. But this is fine, so clearly it didn't get to freezing. We have some beans down there that are fine. There's a pepper plant down there as well. So yeah, So I'm happy that it's still alive, even though, even that pitiful looking, what's that, some type of winter squash. We never did figure out what that is back there. Even that is still half alive. So we never did figure out what that melon is back there, but it's something, and whatever it is, it's still alive. Okay. Alright guys, that concludes this video. Thanks for watching us hustle and bustle to try to get a lot of our things harvested and ahead of what could have been our first frost in our individual microclimate in our little corner of the earth.